After looking at the introduction of the operating system, its advantages and disadvantages, and its various functions, we now discuss the various types of the operating system. There are 5 types of the operating system. We have the batch operating systems, the time-sharing operating systems, the distributed operating systems, the network operating systems, and the real-time operating systems. We will briefly look at each of them and discuss how each of them functions. Let's start with the batch operating system. The batch operating system is one where users do not interact with the computer directly. In this operating system, each user prepares his job on an offline device such as the punched cards and submits it to the computer operator. A job is referred to as a single unit that consists of predefined sequence of commands, programs, and data. The programmers then leave their jobs with the operator, and the operator works to sort the jobs with similar requirements into batches. This is done to speed up processing. Looking at this conceptual view of the batch operating system, we will understand how this operating system works. In this operating system, or in this example, there are 5 jobs to be processed. These jobs are submitted to the operator, and the operator then sorts this job according to their requirements. It groups the jobs into 2 batches, that is, job 1 and 3 on the first batch, and job 2, 4, and 5 on the second batch. It then forwards these batches to the CPU for processing. The main goal or the objective of grouping these jobs into batches is simply to speed up their processing. Advantages of the batch operating system. Scheduling is simple in the batch system. What is scheduling? Scheduling is a fundamental operating system module which decides which process or batch of jobs is to be allocated to the CPU. Batch system use the FIFO scheduling, that is the first in, first out algorithm, where jobs are processed in the order of their submission. Batch systems often provide simple forms of file management. In fact, access to files in batch system is serial. This is faster and very simple. Another advantage is that there is increased performance since it is possible for a job to start as soon as the previous job is finished. Another advantage is that the batch systems do not require any time-critical device management. We then have the disadvantages of the batch systems. Lack of interaction between the user and the job. The fact that users in the batch system do not interact directly with the computer, the batch system gives the users no chance of error management to fix errors and problems in their jobs. This has made debugging of programs very difficult, hence a disadvantage. There may also be long turnaround times in the batch system. Turnaround times is simply the time difference between job's completion time and its arrival time. CPU is often idle. This is because the speed of mechanical input-output devices is slower than the CPU. A job could enter an infinite loop. Due to lack of a protection scheme in this operating system, one batch job can affect all other pending jobs, thus creation of an endless loop. Finally, there is difficulty in providing the desired priority. Let us now look at the time-sharing operating system. This operating system works with the time-sharing concept. This time-sharing concept is a technique that enables many people located at various terminals to use a particular computer system at the same time. Time-sharing is simply a logical extension of multiprogramming, also called multitasking. Time-sharing operating systems provide an environment where the various system resources, for example, the CPU, memory, and peripheral devices, are utilized effectively. As seen in the diagram, multiple jobs are executed by the CPU switching between them, but the switches occur so frequently that the users may interact with each program while it is running. The operating system uses CPU scheduling and multi-programming to provide each user with a small portion of a quantum time. That is, if n users are present, then each user can get a given time quantum. When the user submits the command, the response time is in few seconds at most. Processor's time, which is shared among multiple users simultaneously, is what is termed as the time sharing. Now, the main difference between multi-program batch systems and the time sharing systems is that in the case of multi-program batch systems, the objective is to maximize processor use, whereas in the time sharing systems, the objective is to minimize response time. Computer systems that were designed primarily as batch systems have now been modified to time sharing systems. Advantages of the time sharing operating system. This operating system provides the advantage of quick response. If a process of a task is completed, the time between the other tasks is increased. Due to this quick response time, there is a reduction in the CPU idle time. Disadvantages. In this operating system, there are problems of reliability and data communication. There is also a question of security and integrity of users. There is also a question of security and integrity of user programs and data. On to the third type of the operating systems, that is the distributed operating system. When systems have their processors communicate with each other through various communication lines such as the high-speed buses, network lines, or telephone lines with the aim to share tasks, they are referred to as the loosely coupled systems or the distributed systems. These systems use multiple central processors to serve multiple real-time applications and multiple users. Data processing jobs are distributed among the processors accordingly, and the processors do not share memory or a clock. Instead, each processor has its own local memory. These processors are referred to as sites, nodes, or computers. Advantages of the distributed systems are as follows. Due to the resource sharing facility in these systems, A user at one site may be able to use the resources available at another site. Failure of one site in a distributed system does not affect the operation of other sites. This operating system offers better services to the customer. It has led to the reduction of the load on the host computer and also reduced the delays in data processing. A disadvantage of this distributed system is, if the network is spread, then communication of all computers, nodes, or sites is broken. Fourth, we have the network operating system. This is a software that runs on a network environment, specifically on a server hardware. This is to enable the management of data, users, groups, security, applications, and other networking functions. The primary purpose of the network operating system is to provide access to remote printers, enable management of access to remote files, granting access to remote applications and resources such as the internet, providing routing services, and monitoring the system by offering security services. A good example of the network operating system include the Microsoft Windows Server 2003 version, 2008 version, the Unix, the Linux operating system, the Mac operating system, the Novell NetWare, and the BSD network operating systems. In this network operating system, there is a centralized server. Services provided by this centralized server include the storage services, backup services, and the security services. All other nodes or all other hosts are connected to the centralized server. Advantages of the network operating systems are as follows. This network operating system offers client support. This enables clients to communicate and share resources efficiently. It also offers object sharing advantages. This enables applications and printer sharing. This operating system also offers system resource management. It allows for memory management, multitasking, and multi-processing. We also find out that central servers are highly stable and they manage the system security. For example, an upgrade to new technology and hardware can be easily integrated into the system. The network operating system also offers or enables the remote access to servers. This is possible from different locations and different types of systems. As a disadvantage of the network operating systems, the centralized servers are usually very expensive. They have a high cost of buying and running them. The dependency on the centralized server or centralized location for most operation is very disadvantageous. This is because if the server fails, the entire system will also fail. Despite being expensive, these servers also require regular maintenance and updates. Finally, we look at the real-time operating systems. A real-time system is usually a dedicated or an embedded system. This is a data processing system in which the response time, that is the time interval required to process and respond to inputs, is so small that it controls the environment. These systems typically read from and react to sensor data. They must guarantee response to events within fixed periods of time to ensure correct performance. Real-time systems are used when there are rigid time requirements on the operation of a processor or the flow of data. Real-time systems can be used as a control device in a dedicated application. They must have a well-defined, fixed time constraints. Otherwise, the systems will fail. These applications include scientific experiments, medical imaging systems, industrial control systems, weapon systems, robots, and air traffic control systems. There are two types of real-time operating systems. We have the hard real-time systems and the soft real-time systems. The hard real-time systems, these systems guarantee the critical task complete on time. In hard real-time systems, secondary storage is limited or sometimes missing, and the data is stored in the read-only memory. Virtual memory in this type of real-time operating system is almost never found. Lastly, we have the soft real-time systems. The soft real-time systems are less restrictive. In these systems, a critical real-time task gets priority over other tasks and retains the priority until it completes its execution. Soft real-time systems have limited utility than hard real-time systems. For example, the multimedia systems, the virtual reality systems, advanced scientific projects like undersea exploration and planetary rovers systems. So far, we have discussed the 5 types of operating systems and also looked into the detail of how these systems work. Please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to post your questions in the comment section so that we may tackle them together. Thank you.